All right, let's talk about how to earn money in the Philippines. If you come to the Philippines without an online job secured, you're not going to find one, especially if you're living in the provinces. The only way you're going to get a job is if you're going to Cebu City and working in the tech park there, and don't expect the salaries to be that great. Think 25,000 pesos a month, maybe as high as 55 because your English skills are in demand. But you got to remember you're in the Philippines, so you're going to be paid on the Philippines average. So even if you have the greatest experience in the world, 30 years experience in IT, you're not going to make more than 80 or 100,000 pesos max. And that's for an excellent job. And that means you have to go to work every day at odd hours. So think, you know, from like 11 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning, where you're working hours that are related to North America. Your second option is to try to find a job that will allow you to work remotely in the Philippines for a Western company. Now, with this whole back to office thing, there's a lot less remote work jobs. Herein lies in the problem. They will hire a remote work person who lives in the United States. So if you intend to apply for the job, you're going to need a United States address. Using a Philippines address, the AI will kick you out every single time. So let's just say you have an address in the United States and you build your resume based on that. Eventually, if you do get an interview, you're going to have to answer some ridiculous basic questions. Think first job when you're 18, 20 years old, fresh out of college kind of questions. And then they're going to ask you where you're living. And you have to say the United States. And if they have some smart person on the other end checking out IP addresses, and they're going to find out you're in the Philippines. So I would suggest trying a VPN. If they want you to come into an office to verify ID and so forth, then you're screwed. You could lie to them and tell them, hey, I'm in the Philippines getting medical treatment or visiting family or whatever, and I'll be back to the United States in a week or two. You might be able to squeeze by and do it via ID Me or video conference where you show your IDs and so forth. Have a United States driver's license. Don't have your Filipino driver's license and passport, social security card to verify your identity. And then you might get lucky. But for the most part, if you come to the Philippines without a job, you're not going to find a job, at least one that pays decent. So I'm working remote, so I have two internets because it's the Philippines. Two is one is none. And I'm paying, close to 70, 80 bucks a month for two internet connections. I also have solar, battery backup, and a generator because, once again, power in the Philippines, hit or miss. So if you lose power, and you don't have a backup or don't have alternative power resources to continue your on job requirements, you could probably be fired. So, all of these things are working against you in the Philippines. So, do not plan to come to the Philippines and find a job here. I'm telling you, you will not find one. So, that's kind of my tip on jobs in the Philippines. There are ways around it. For example, there's native teams. Take a look at that. I'll put a link in the notes below where you can work for native teams, provided that the company you are going to work for, whether it be American, Australian, Canadian, whoever, they have a master service agreement that you can send to the company if they agree to it, and then they pay native teams pays you. Their costs for the service range from free, which provides you with absolutely nothing, to about $70, $80 a month, where they'll take care of your taxes. They'll also take care of health insurance. So you'll get, like PhilCare deducted. Of course, got to pay for it from your salary. They'll also cover taxes because if you're working as a visaed person here in the Philippines, you do have to pay taxes. If you can manage to get a job in the United States with your United States driver's license, of course, you're subject to U.S. taxes and so forth, and you wouldn't need native teams. So, things to think about. If you don't have a reoccurring monthly income that's guaranteed, do not come to the Philippines. You will not find a job here. It's just been my experience. Been here for 2 years and been looking for a job for 2 years and have not found one that would pay me more than 35,000 pesos a month. Now, granted, I'm working in IT as a cloud specialist with HPC, high performance clustering, in my background, along with massive web scale storage. So I've got credentials that would, in the United States, get me a job 250,000, no problem, in a pre-sales environment. So I can't find a job here for more than 35,000 pesos, which is about $500-600 a month. So keep that in mind. Thanks. I hope you found this useful. If you did, comment down below, like, dislike. I frankly don't care whether you like it or don't. But if you give me some input on what you'd like to see, I'm more than happy to share.